Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into some of the biggest shakeups to hit government contracting in decades. If you're a contractor, a small business owner, or just interested in how the government spends our money, you need to hear this. We're talking about the Revolutionary FAR Overhaul, or RFO, and the new America First procurement mandates. These aren't just minor tweaks. They're fundamentally changing the game. So, let's start with the big one, the Revolutionary FAR Overhaul. The Federal Acquisition Regulation, or FAR, is basically the rule book for all federal government procurement. And let's be honest, it's notorious for being dense, complicated, and sometimes downright confusing. The goal of the RFO is to slash through that complexity. The government wants to make it easier, faster, and more efficient for agencies to buy what they need and for businesses, especially small businesses, to sell to them. Think about it this way. For years, navigating the FAR has been like trying to assemble furniture with instructions written in a foreign language. The RFO is the government's attempt to give us a simple pictorial guide instead. They're looking to eliminate redundant clauses, clarify confusing language, and streamline processes from start to finish. This is huge because it could lower the barrier to entry for so many innovative companies that were previously intimidated by the sheer volume of regulations. One of the key areas the RFO is targeting is the source selection process. Historically, this has been a very rigid, document-heavy process. The overhaul aims to introduce more flexibility, allowing contracting officers to use more innovative techniques like oral presentations, technical demonstrations, and confidence-based ratings. Instead of just relying on a mountain of written proposals, agencies can now have more dynamic, direct conversations with potential contractors. This helps them better understand a company's true capabilities, not just their proposal writing skills. For businesses, this means you get a real chance to showcase your expertise and solutions in a more engaging way. Another major focus is on commercial products and services. The government is the largest buyer in the world, but it often struggles to buy commercial, off-the-shelf items with the same speed and ease as a regular consumer. The RFO is pushing to align federal buying practices more closely with the commercial marketplace. This means simpler terms and conditions, faster purchasing cycles, and a greater willingness to adopt commercial solutions without forcing them into a rigid governance-specific mold. If you sell a commercial product, this overhaul could open up a massive new market for you with far fewer headaches than before. Now, let us switch gears and talk about the other seismic shift happening, the new America First procurement mandates, specifically the enhancements to the Buy American Act. This isn't a new idea, but the latest rules have put some serious teeth into it. The core principle is simple: prioritize the purchase of goods and services made right here in the United States. The most significant change is the increase in the domestic content threshold. To qualify as a domestic end product, a certain percentage of the cost of its components must be mined, produced, or manufactured in the U.S. This threshold has been steadily climbing. It went from 55% to 60%, then up to 65%, and it is scheduled to increase to 75% in 2029. This is a clear signal from the government that they are serious about reshoring manufacturing and strengthening domestic supply chains. So, what does this mean for you as a contractor? If you're sourcing your materials domestically, you're in a prime position. Your proposals will be more competitive, and you'll have a distinct advantage over companies relying heavily on foreign components. However, if your supply chain is globally distributed, you need to start strategizing now. You might need to find new domestic suppliers, reconfigure your manufacturing processes, or at the very least, be prepared to justify why you need a waiver. And speaking of waivers, getting one is becoming tougher. The government is implementing a new fallback threshold that allows for the use of the previous 55% domestic content rule, but only when domestic products aren't available or the cost is unreasonable. The VA also established a new price preference system for critical products and components, identified by the Critical Supply Chain Task Force. The government is creating a public-facing website to increase transparency around all waivers granted, putting more pressure on agencies to justify any decision to buy foreign. The combination of the RFO and the strengthened Buy American provisions is creating a powerful new landscape. On one hand, the RFO is trying to make contracting simpler and more accessible. On the other, the America First mandates are adding a new layer of complexity related to supply chain and sourcing. It's a bit of a push and pull. So, how do you navigate this new world? First, stay informed. These changes are rolling out in phases, and you need to be up to date on the latest FAR clauses and guidance. Bookmark the acquisition.gov website. Follow key industry publications. Knowledge is your greatest asset right now. Second, reevaluate your supply chain immediately. Do a deep dive into where your components are coming from. Can you meet the new 65% threshold? What's your plan for hitting 75%? Start having conversations with domestic suppliers. Building these relationships now, before you're up against a deadline, is crucial. If you rely on foreign suppliers, understand the waiver process inside and out and be prepared to make a compelling case. Third, embrace the new communication styles the RFO is encouraging. Don't just be a good proposal writer, be a great presenter. Practice your oral presentations. Get ready to do live technical demos. Your ability to communicate your value proposition clearly and confidently is more important than ever. Contracting officers are looking for partners they can trust, and these more interactive evaluation methods are designed to find them. Fourth, if you're a small business, this is your moment. The RFO's emphasis on simplification is designed, in large part, to help you. The government has a mandate to award a significant portion of contracts to small businesses, and these changes are meant to make it easier for you to compete and win. Don't be intimidated. The playing field is being leveled. Focus on your niche, highlight your agility, and leverage your socioeconomic status if you have one. Finally, think about collaboration. Teaming up with other businesses can be a powerful strategy. A partnership between a company with a strong domestic manufacturing base and another with cutting-edge technology could be a winning combination. By pooling your strengths, you can create a more compelling and compliant offer that meets all the new requirements. This is a period of massive transition, and with transition comes opportunity. The companies that are proactive, agile, and strategic will thrive. The ones that stick to the old ways of doing things risk being left behind. The Revolutionary FAR Overhaul and the America First mandates are not just bureaucratic jargon. They are a call to action. They are reshaping the multi-trillion-dollar federal marketplace. Start by doing a thorough review of your current business practices. How does your company align with these new priorities? Where are the gaps? What changes do you need to make to your processes, your supply chain, and your proposal strategy? It might seem like a lot to take on, but breaking it down into manageable steps will make it much less daunting. The key is to start now. The future of government contracting is here, and it's focused on simplicity, speed, and domestic strength. By understanding these changes and adapting your strategy accordingly, you can position your business for incredible success in this new era. Thanks for tuning in today. I know this was a lot of information, but it's incredibly important for anyone in this space. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more insights into the world of government contracting. Drop a comment below with your questions or your own experiences with these new rules. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.